A reading from the first letter of John. That is what we proclaim to you, what was from the beginning, what we have heard, what we have seen with our own eyes, what we have looked at and our hands have touched, concerning the word of life and the life revealed. And we have seen and testify and announce to you the eternal life that was with the Father and was revealed to us. What we have seen and heard, we announce to you too, so that you may have fellowship with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with his Christ. Now, this is the good news message we have heard from him and announced to you. God is light, and in him there is not darkness at all. If we say we have fellowship with him and yet keep on walking in the darkness, we are lying and not practicing the truth. But if we walk in the light, and as he himself is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. Now by this we know that we have come to know God, if we keep his commandments. Whoever obeys his word, truly in this person, the love of God has been perfected. I am writing a new commandment to you, which is true in him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. The one who says he is in the light but yet hates his fellow in the community is still in darkness. The one who loves his fellow resides in the light. Do not love the world or the things of the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him, because all that is in the world, the desire of the flesh and the desire of the eyes and the arrogance produced by material possessions, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away with all its desires, but the person who does the will of God remains forever.
This morning's reading is from the second Prophecy to the Americas on the need of a religion of light. And the common people subject to the powers of darkness, though they know it not, shall inquire as to the need of any religion in the world. For they believe that all religions are alike, the product of superstition, empty theology, and false gods. People of darkness have made religion such, but the founders of these religions were holy men inspired of God for a holy purpose in the world. Degeneration comes to all things that have lost hold of the source, which is light. And men and women fall away from the original teachings, failing to understand the precepts because they reject the light and cannot understand it due to their low mentality and lack of spiritual perception. And because the religions of the world are reflections of those who form and sustain them, the popular religions of the world have faded and become shadows of the founders instead of sources of light. People of little reasoning believe that the individual is a free agent capable of making his or her own decisions as a master of personal destiny. Such notions are without foundation, the infantile product of unlettered minds, ignorant of sacred writings. People are easily led astray by such notions and fall easy victims to the powers of darkness that control them through material institutions. A religion of light comes into the world to teach men and women formulas that are as reliable as chemical functions or mathematical formulas, but that are superior to both. By proper application of these formulas, people alter the world in which they live. For philosophical formulas exist, which the common man can apply to change himself into a higher being that understands divine reason that is beyond the understanding of unenlightened people. Savage men and women in the primitive environment of the primeval forests might question that scientific formulas exist, which civilized man uses to mold his surroundings. Civilized man may doubt the existence of an exact religion with formulas that can be applied in harmony with nature to transmute an individual from a low type to a high type. But ignorance is the fault of all people everywhere and is not restricted to the primitive. For compared to enlightened men and women of light, unenlightened men and women are as primitive types compared to civilized types. Like all disciples, a religion of light has its formulas, its laws and codes, and authorized teachings representative of a workable system to alter man and his world for the good of the cosmos. Religion is the name of the divine science or system by which these ends are attained. Nothing is attained outside of an organized system which is lasting and self-perpetuating. A religion of light is the ship that safely carries men and women across the great waters of the unknown. Without it, they are helpless creatures adrift on a stormy sea at the mercy of the elements. Above all, a religion of light is the system that people use to journey beyond the limitations of the material world. People say they will not fall ill, but they do. People say they will not suffer, but they do. They say they will not grow old, but they do. People say they will not die, but they do. They say they will be saved, but they are not. For I say unto you that the willing and believing of men and women is as a soft breeze upon the shores of time. Little is changed by it. Men and women of arrogance and ignorance are pitiful above all things, for they reject the one means by which they may attain the immortality that they desire.